What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And we're speaking the language of bromance. Shawn, I'm dropping all pretense. We're getting right to it. You ready for this?
What are we doing tonight?
Oh my God. I'm so excited. I just learned about this like an hour ago, and my entire world has been flipped upside down. Are you ready for this?
Ready. Give it to me.
Okay. We are going into the world of dueling. Like historical dueling.
Like piano bar dueling?
I'll meet you at sunrise and brr.
Oh, so not the piano. Have you ever been to a piano bar where they duel pianos?
I would love to go to watch a dueling piano thing.
There's one here in Columbia. It's basically where all the old women go, though. So maybe it's a callback to history then. Like it's
because they're old.
This is like in their genes, like the women going to these duels. And the piano's
You're like,
what
hey,
calls
do you
them.
Remember when these were made out of rocks? Huh? Am I right? Am I right? Come on, I saw the Flintstones. I know what happens. All right, Shawn, we're going to the world of historical duels. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm going to start talking about one specifically, and then this will blossom into an entire world that I just learned about 20 minutes ago. Okay? And you're going to come with me on this journey. We're going to hold hands and we're going to walk together. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I am so excited and I'm ready to share this with you.
This is the most giddy I've seen you in a long time, too.
Oh my God. This is like combining two of my most favorite things ever.
Like of the things that, like, there was the chimpanzee war, there was the bonobos, there was the emus, and now it seems like this is going to be your new thing.
This is totally my new thing. This is totally my new thing. And you know what? After I'm done telling you about it, it's going to be your thing too. You ready?
Ready.
Ready? When we think of historical duels, we tend to imagine two men handsomely dressed, wielding pistols or swords or some other offense over some offense to one party's honor.
Yeah.
Okay?
I envision the Firefly episode.
Exactly. That's the first thing you think of. But think of the fire. Well, that's the first thing you and I think of.
Yeah, good
is
point.
The episode of Firefly. Okay, I'm going to talk about a duel. So, ready? This duel is between two women.
Okay. Cat fight?
Yes, but this is the best. If I saw cat fights like this would make me fall in love with reality television. That's all I'm saying. Okay, this is the rivalry between Princess Paulina and Countess Kielsmansegg. Kielsmansegg.
So what are the two names again? Those are a mouthful.
Princess Paulina.
Because we'll call her Princess Paul.
These are two noble women of Vienna. Princess Pauline von Metternich and Countess Anastasia Kielmansegg.
Vienna, the land of sausages.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, is he from Vienna?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's from Austria.
Ah, Austria. Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the bar.
That's Australia. Austria is we like sausages and Beethoven. And there was that one guy that was born here, but we sent him to Germany and he did very bad things. But we don't talk about him that much. Okay, so this is in the summer of 1892.
Ah, yes.
No, don't do it. God damn it. As soon as I said the summer of 1892, I knew it was coming. The summer of love was 1969. This is 1892. A full 72 years prior to the summer of love. I'll tell you what, though, what happens in the summer of 1892, I'd be fine with if we're gonna call this the summer of love. This is not the summer of love. This is summer of duels, Shawn. Okay. Princess Pauline was the honorary president of the Vienna Musical and Theatrical Exhibition. And the Countess was the president of the Ladies' Committee of the exhibition. And the two clashed over some of the arrangements for the exhibition. Okay? Something to do with floral arrangements.
Ooh,
so they get in an argument over flowers.
It's like, no, I like daisies. No, I like tulips. Let's duel over it, bitch.
Yeah, basically. Heated words were exchanged, and the two women agreed to settle their differences with a duel.
Damn. Like, you don't see that these days. Like, you don't even see like people like go to fisticuffs too often.
Right? Like I watch like you watch that show Bridezillas, like I've never seen the bride and the wedding planner like we're meeting at dawn on my pistols.
Choose your weapon.
Meet me at dawn.
How would you feel if somebody challenged you to a duel? Like if like even now.
Oh my god, like yeah.
I'd be scared.
What do
like that's ballsy.
Would you accept?
No. God no. I'd die. This is just murder. Look at me.
Yeah, because I mean, well, I don't know. Isn't technically the whole let's settle this outside? Like, isn't that that's the equivalent of getting challenged? That's like today's equivalent of getting challenged to a duel,
well,
right?
I mean,
like 100,
that's like 1980s.
200 years ago, you pulled out a glove and you slapped the other dude in the face.
Mm.
And now it's like, motherfucker, taste outside. Like, things were so much more proper back then.
Well, yeah, I think typically most people didn't die either, did they, from duels?
Yeah, that I don't know. I think you're right. Because like what's his name? The crazy president. Andrew Jack not the the other crazy president, Andrew Jackson, like he was in like a bunch of duels. I guess he walked around with like lead in his body.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like back then, like a lot of the people that would get shot, like they would just leave the bullet in them because they didn't wash their hands during surgery.
Yeah,
it was Garfield, that president. He got an assassination. Well, he was assassinated, but
yeah, he was.
They shot him, and they said he would have survived because it was basically just like any other Civil War wound. But because
the guy thought the assassin thought he was the Antichrist or something.
No, he was crazy too. Like he basically the gun he picked, the assassin, he picked it because he thought it would look good in a museum.
That's awesome.
That's fucked up.
Well, I mean, it's not awesome, but it's funny.
But since it was the president, there were so many doctors that wanted to be the person to save him that so many people were poking their fingers in it with dirty hands that it got basically infected and he died. Because back then, like soap, like so this is a side tangent, but like doctors were like, oh no, we don't need to wash our hands when we do surgery. Like that's barbaric. Like, I'm a doctor. What do we need to wash our hands for? Invisible germs? Yeah. You're fucking crazy, hippie. Get out of here.
Yeah. Don't give me. I don't need your new age philosophy on you got to have clean hands. I'm a doctor.
You know how many people I've cut with this blade? Like thousands. You're never washed it once.
And it still serves me well. I'm like 3 out of 5 with this scalpel. This is my best scalpel.
But yeah, so I think like during a lot of the duels, they would get shot and just leave it there. And I don't know if it was just if you shot at each other and you hit them and they missed you, you won the duel. Or if you kept shooting until you got bored, I don't know.
No, well, I think it's just you shoot at each other, and then if you hit, you win. Because I mean, those were the old school pistols that you had to like load and all that other shit. It wasn't like a revolver.
It was 20 paces and turn and shoot.
Yeah, but okay, but this doesn't even involve guns, Shawn. You ready for this? Here we go. Okay, so we're going back to Princess Pauline and the Countess. Women sometimes had male champions fight on their behalf in duels. However, in the late 19th century Europe, there was a movement towards encouraging, quote, new women to fight for themselves.
You know why?
So because this is like...
Well, the husbands were tired of getting in fights over their wives as bitching, like, over flowers.
Right?
Because that happens today.
Yeah.
Like a girl starts mouthing a dude at a bar, or like two girls start fighting. Like, my husband's going to kick your boyfriend's ass. And you're over there, like, you're talking with the dude, like you're playing darts, and he's bigger than you. You're like, fuck, we're going to have to fight. He's like, yeah. It's like, you're going to kick my ass, aren't you? He's like, yeah, I have to. I gotta hold up the honor for that girl I brought here.
It's either that or I go home and not get laid.
And that's not even actually
like right now. You just became the obstruction between me and getting some, so I'm sorry. I got to put you down.
Yeah, it's like, I understand.
I get it.
It's like, can we just like act like, can we like wrestle? Like, WWF wrestling style? No. I've got an urge to kick somebody's ass. It makes me horny.
I'm into that, and she's into when watching me do it, so gotta work them up, right? No, Shawn, this is revolution right here. This is like, this is female empowerment right here.
Very early too.
I think I'm glad that the first step to female empowerment is like, hey, if you guys are gonna, get pissed at each other over flowers, why don't you two settle it and leave your husbands out of it?
Well, this is this is in Austria, but when did women get the right to vote? It was like 1920.
Yes.
So this is like 50 years before that.
Yeah. So they said that a woman who employed a male champion was committing, quote, a deed of inferiority. So the duel was therefore an, quote, emancipated duel because all the parties involved were women, which means that when I say all the parties involved, the duelist seconds, which means the people that were like witnessing, like for each side, like it's kind of like how like if you got Rocky and then you got Mickey in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So the guys would kind of be their help. Or the husbands
right.
would be
So
there.
in this instance, there were women that were like they're people in the corner. So you had women dueling. You had a woman in each corner as their second, and then you had a woman presiding over the duel. So the duelist seconds were Princess Schwarzburg and Countess Kinsey, and a woman presided over the duel, Baroness Lubinska,
Oh shit!
a Polish woman who had a degree in medicine.
This is very much like Fight Club, female Fight Club.
I know. It is. It's like Fight Club, but it's girls.
First rule.
Ready?
Woman duel club. We don't talk about woman duel club.
Now we're getting to the nitty gritty. Okay, Sean, we're getting down to this is the serious part of the matter.
It seems pretty serious already.
Okay, yeah, it's serious. Like you got women that are gonna have a sword fight over flowers, over floral arrangements. So it's serious, but it in the end seems a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. According to the Atlas Obscura and the Women of Action Network.
Women of Action Network? WAN?
Well, I think, yeah, WAN. Atlas Obscura and the WAN. I think WAN is like a modern, a political action committee today. But they're saying that Baroness Lubinska said the duel was not supposed to be a deadly one, but the Baroness noted that if a piece of dirty clothing was pushed into a wound, that could be more likely to become infected. So, like you were saying, everybody's being dirty. Everybody's shoving their dirty fingers in Garfield's bullet hole. Like, hey, let me see. No, let me see.
Oh,
yeah.
I just got done eating a sandwich and taking a poo-poo. Well, you're out of toilet paper, by the way, so I had to use my hand. But
we haven't invented toilet paper yet, so I used part of the sandwich, the part I didn't eat. So they're saying that since they're fighting with swords, let's say you and I are fighting with swords, and you go to stab me. Well, obviously, your sword's going to go through my clothes and into my stomach, for example. So what this Baroness is saying, because she had a degree in medicine, she's saying that when the sword goes through, it's going to push the fibers from my clothes into the wound, which, yeah, that makes sense. And she's saying because it's, 1892, the clothes aren't necessarily the cleanest. We haven't learned of the wonderful world of Downey yet. Febreze is a non-conceived thought at this point.
So by pushing, so it's not like a deadly stab, but it's enough of a poke that you're kind of, putting the clothing into the body, which is dirty, pulling it out. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to die from the wound, but 3 days post-fight, that wound looks like Khal Drogo after his battle. Yeah,
all like pussy and swollen and
oh, what the got Kiki?
Is that how he sounded? Yeah. That was great. That was pretty good. Proud of you.
Thanks. Been working on my Khal Drogo.
I bet you have. That's so have I. We gotta impress our
That's
women
true.
somehow.
I come out of
otherwise they go
come out of the shower. One top oh pinchy nipple titty.
Death by snoo. But they're saying that the duel isn't supposed to be a deadly one. Like they're supposed to fight and whatever, but they're not the goal is not to kill each other.
Just a little fisticuffs.
They don't want anybody to die. Well, this isn't fisticuffs. This is with swords.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
But this is sort of cuffs.
Just
but
a step
they don't
above
want it to be to the death.
Yeah, because like when
not to the death.
Like today, like you said, when you say, "Hey, you want to settle this outside?" Like it's if it's me, like, "Oh shit, yeah." Like I'm going to get my ass kicked, but I'm not going to get stabbed. Well, hopefully, not going to get stabbed to death.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where you go.
Yeah, it's true.
It would be much safer, she reasoned, for the rapiers only to touch bare skin. So she instructed the combatants to strip down to the waist and ordered the male servants off in the distance to look away. Shawn, these two women are going to have a sword fight topless.
Why is this still not a thing? Imagine.
Let's just let that sink in.
The
We're
Baroness
going to have a sword fight.
The Baroness,
topless.
The Baroness yells at the guys like, "Hey, cover your eyes. We're taking the boobies out." Oh, okay. They cover their eyes, but do the little like whoop, pull their fingers apart.
Yeah, exactly. Like how? Like if you're the servant, and all of a sudden there's a Baroness, like turn around, they're taking their shirts off. Like what guy is gonna be like, oh, I better follow her instructions to the absolute letter?
Especially like in 1890, it's like, oh, I don't even know what boobies look like.
Yeah, 1892. You're telling me, if Shawn, 2017, Richard is gonna be like, wait a minute, they're gonna sword fight topless?
Where do I buy tickets?
Where has this been all my life? Why is this not televised?
Well, I mean, they have the lingerie football league now. Like, why couldn't they have this? Like, you could definitely take it. You know what's funny though, Richard? Think about this. Like, they had like male wrestling back in the day. Like, men wrestled naked. So,
okay,
I mean, to be fair, you have to have both.
Hang on. Before we go any further, trademark topless football. Richard and Shawn, trademark, copyright, Language of Bromance.
Topless football, copyright, topless
football.
Wrestling League, the TWF, Topless Wrestling Federation.
Oh, the BBL, Bare Breasted League.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
BBW.
Big, beautiful women.
Or bare breasted wrestling.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, double entendre there.
See what I did?
I don't know if that would fly.
Yeah, because then you gotta be like, hang on, honey, I gotta watch BBW on Sunday nights.
How much does this cost you a month? $10,000.
Worth every penny.
But yeah, I mean, like people be like, "Oh, that's sexist," blah blah blah. Which kind of, yeah, technically it is. But like I said, they have the lingerie football league, and nobody knows to stink about that. Those girls freaking knock each other around too. You ever seen some?
Yeah,
of the
they
hits?
do. Yeah, I've heard about. Friends have told me about it.
Yeah,
because they saw it. They watched the hell out of it.
Yeah,
and then they tell me about it, so that way I can relate it to you.
Yeah, and we talk about it. We're like, that's not right.
Yeah, not cool.
There's this one video.
But BBW, that's nothing but cool.
There's this one video where this chick like tackled the quarterback, and as she's walking away, she's like, "I'm gonna show you how to eat my boop." I was like, "Oh damn,
holy shit!"
It was like,
that's
go
hardcore,
on,
man. Shawn, I'm in the room. I know. There was a bug on my hand. I was licking it because that's what you do.
Then it fell in my
to get rid of
pants,
bugs on your hand.
And I had to quickly take my pants off, and then it kept running up and down my penis when I was chasing it, trying to get it away.
It's like that song, you know. I'm licking up a baby bumblebee.
Now it's on my wee.
I'm stroking off a baby bumblebee.
Ooh, it's sticky all over me. That's funny.
So this would be BBF, the BBF, bare-breasted fencing.
Okay, I get behind this.
Yes. Shawn, this is like two of my favorite things in the world. Sword fighting and topless women. This is my peanut butter and chocolate right here. That's what this is.
Yeah, it's true because you are a big fan of swords
and bare-breasted women,
but mostly swords.
It's like 60-40,
80-20.
I'm not going to tell you what the 60 is. Anyway, so the combatants met in 1892 in Vaduz, the capital of Liechtenstein, and dueled with rapiers to first blood. The Princess Pauline was the victor in the third round when she was injured slightly on the nose, but also drew blood from the Countess's arm.
So it's first blood, so it is very much just like fencing where you get points by poking and not killing.
Yeah.
Ew, you know what? We really need to get into fencing. I kind of want to get into that. Like actual sword fighting. You know, sword fight?
I like how you just kind of like trailed like I don't at this point I don't
Why
know
are you
if you
making
actually
such eye contact?
At this point I don't know if you are we still talking about fencing? I don't know because you were like we could do fencing. You know, we could try fencing. We could try sword fighting. Do you want a sword fight? Let's sword fight. I felt like there was a transition somewhere that I'm not entirely aware of.
And I'm not very comfortable with.
Oh my god. Okay. Princess Pauline was the victor in the third round. The report in the Pall Mall Gazette says that once the round ended, the seconds, which the people in the corner, advised them to embrace, kiss, and make friends.
Wow. I love that this is in the newspaper.
Right?
It's like, hey,
like I'm sitting at the breakfast table and I'm like, hey, there was a sword. Oh my god, there was a duel.
They made friends.
Oh my god, it was between two women.
Babe, what does it mean when two women make friends topless after they kiss? They what? They lick what? They put where? I can't go to church today.
I gotta stay home and repent.
Go outside and tend the garden. I'm going to read the paper.
I'm gonna make friends with my hand. Is that code? Yes, it is.
Yes. It means that the duel between myself and my hand has ended. It's time for us to make friends.
Spoiler alert, I always win that duel.
But the idea of topless duelists captured the imagination of many folks, with images of women breasts bared and swords crossed appearing in paintings and photographs of the era. You hear me, Shawn? You hear what I just said? Photographs. Paintings and photographs.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why this didn't catch on. Like, they never taught me this in history class. Like,
no, nor me.
The closest we came to this is when they talked about like Amazonian women, when they're like, oh, they used to ride around with their boobs out and they'd cut one off because it was better to shoot a bow. And you're like, I ain't messing with a chick that would do that. But this is like, borderline fun.
Yeah. What do you mean borderline? This is fun. Like if these two were like, hey, we should sell tickets for this, then they could have bought all the fucking flowers they wanted.
That's a good point.
They could have put enough. They could have covered the entire fucking palace in flowers.
That's a really good point.
With the tickets they would have sold to a topless duel.
It's like, hey, you get the flowers you want, I get the flowers we want. We kiss and make friends at the end of it.
Everybody
wins.
Everybody wins. Some guys paint some pictures of it. We're set for life. I mean, we're already set for life because, we're noble women. This
is something like, years later, because this is kind of like the girls experimenting in college.
Shit, you know what? We constantly live in this, whole class warfare thing. Like, oh, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But you know what? In this instance, the rich get richer, and you know what? If they sell tickets to a duel of them fighting topless with swords, they kind of deserve to get richer.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like, I'd be like, oh my God, why did I not come up with this idea? Or if I'm a girl, I'd be like, why didn't I think of this? I have breasts.
Yeah.
I'd find a friend, punch her, rip off my shirt and punch her in the face. I could have sold tickets to that.
Well, I mean, female wrestling, that's a big thing right now, but this is like you take it to the next level.
This is the next level. Oh my God, Shawn, this is next level. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm looking at the photograph, the quote I'm putting air quotes up here. I'm looking at the photographs and paintings right now. Shawn, this is amazing. This is great.
So what do you think the tickets would go for at a thing like this?
Are we recording
yeah,
right now?
We're recording.
Oh.
What do you think the tickets would go?
I gotta fix it.
Hold on.
Fix myself.
We'll make friends later. So what do you think the tickets would go for something like this? $25, $30, $1,000?
Well, I don't know. This is Austria, so it's probably like, gold coins. This is 1892, so I guess, they probably weren't paying with doubloons, but they, I bet you could sell a fuck ton. Okay, but now let's get to the real, Shawn. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of this, okay? So these women fight topless. And you and I are thinking like, "Oh my god, that's a perfect idea." You fight. But why didn't men have the idea like, "You know what? You know what we should do? We should fight without pants."
Well, like I said, I don't know when naked.
I don't think if you and I were like, "Okay, we're going to let's say we're at a bar and I accidentally, knock into you and you're like, "Motherfucker, you want to take this outside?" Like, "All right, let's go."
You walk,
and on our way out, I'm starting to take my pants off.
Well, no, the first
I'm doing the penguin walk out the front door.
Well, the first thing is like you get out there, you're taking your shirt off. It's like, all right, well, this dude wants to wrestle with his shirt off. Like, okay, whatever. And you get out there, it's like, well, okay, he's taking his belt off because he doesn't want to scratch. Wait, why is he taking his? All right, I guess we can wrestle. Oh God, why are you taking your underwear? You win. You win. I forfeit.
Yeah. You and I just figured out how to win a bar fight.
Yeah. Just start taking off your
Step
clothes.
number 1, strip naked.
There was a comedian back in the day. He talked about he's like, if I ever go to jail, like if somebody tries to rape me in the shower, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and rape them back. And everybody's going to be like, "Hey, don't try and rape that guy because he'll try and rape you back." It's like, wait, you can do that? Like, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can be the raper and the rapee. No, I don't know, but he does it. Just a big circle chasing each other back and forth.
Come here.
No, you
come here.
You drop the soap. No, you drop the soap.
Oh, shit.
And then the two, Steve and Greg, were married after they were released and lived happily ever after.
They live in Montana together and raise sheep.
At first, we made friends in jail, and then we made friends for life. And by friends, I mean gay sex.
Yay! It has gone so this duel has gone down in history as the first, quote, emancipated duel because all parties involved, including the principals and the seconds, were female, and because the duelists fought topless. The weapon chosen was the sword, and third round there was a cut.
So, does it say anything like how long the rounds were or anything like that? Like, I wouldn't even think there'd be a rounds. Like, I don't even this seems like a sport. Like, there's rules, there's rounds.
Exactly. It's a duel. So I don't know exactly how, because you always hear the story with when it comes to duels with pistols, like
20 paces
backs to each other,
turn and fire.
20 paces, turn and fire. With swords, I don't know if. Because it's not like they had stopwatches. I don't know if maybe there was somebody that was, in their head, like counting to 20.
That's the guys that were counting. Okay. The guys that had their eyes covered, like 1,001 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Greg, did you turn around? Yes. Start counting again. 5 Mississippi.
They start taking their shirts off, and one of the guys is like, "Ding, ding." So apparently the whole topless thing was to avoid infection, is what they're saying. Since there would be no men present to ogle them, their decision to unbutton the tops of their dresses was not sexual. It was simply a way of preventing a duel of first blood becoming a duel to the death. Taking even more radical take on the at the time widely dismissed theories of British surgeon Joseph Lister, who in 1870 revolutionized surgical procedures with the introduction of antiseptic. This is a time before antiseptic, to clean wounds and shit like that. Probably it is true that women have rarely fought or dueled. They mostly settled quarrels, but it doesn't take much to surfing on the net to receive evidence that there were certainly plenty of historical records reporting dueling women. Women fought like their male counterparts over lovers, insults, perceived and real, gossip, and ultimately for their honor. They fought with all kinds of pistols and a variety of swords and knives.
Damn.
There's a long list of dueling women in history.
Why don't they talk about that? Like you said, like this is like a book or a movie.
This is what I'm saying, Shawn. Why is this not a film?
Like you built, like this is like Rocky.
If I made this movie, oh my God, the tickets I would sell. Yeah. I'd be like, because you could totally tease it. You could, you could tease it like a rom-com where it's, it's these ladies and they're like at a charity ball or whatever.
Yeah,
and they're fighting.
Point.
They start yelling at each other and be like, and then you just fade to black, and then you have a title card: 2 women, 1 flower arrangement. The conflict ensues. You're a bitch. I want daisies. No, you're a bitch. I want lilies. There was only one way to settle this. And then you have the grassy field with the willow trees and whatnot. And they're all standing around. It's like, all right, there's only one way to settle this, and that must be with a duel. And then all you got to do is just show them from the, give them, just do a camera shot of their face and them loosening their, because I'm guessing at the time they had bodices or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the girdle things.
Well, and you got the perfect casting. You get Katherine Heigl. She's in all those rom-coms. And you get the chick from Saturday Night Live that does all the impressions. She's starting to be kind of a side character.
No, fuck that. No, you get women that have done the Victorian era kind of. You get Anne Hathaway.
The chick from Star Wars. What was her name?
Daisy Ridley?
No, not the new ones. The original or the new prequel or the prequels.
Natalie Portman.
She's been in some of that stuff.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Shawn. It'd be like Black Swan, yes, but they're topless with swords.
But you get the other chick that was in Swans too, Miley Kunis. She could be the Baroness.
Holy shit, we just made a movie.
And you can take it either way, too. You can make it PG-13 where it's fun. You can make it rated R where it's like, yeah. Oh!
See, they just got done. Netflix just got done making that fucking, making that wrestling show.
Glow?
About the women. Yeah, Glow. They just got done making Glow about, women wrestling. I'm saying, we do a fucking topless fencing league.
Pitch this. Pitch it to them.
Copyright Richard and Shawn. This is a thing. This is totally a thing. Okay? There is a long list of dueling women in history. A lot of depictions with dueling ladies have appeared since the 18th century. Feminists were happy to jump on the emancipatory implications of women usurping the sphere of the patriarchy, its notion of honor and martial resolution of conflict. The most known dueling sequences involving women took place in a women-only environment. Photographic postcards and toward the end of the 19th century, stereoscopic views of sword-wielding female nudes were a logical continuation of artistic conventions expressed in drawing, painting, and sculpture. Shawn, there's a lot of pictures. I'm seeing a lot of pictures of topless women fighting each other with swords.
Well, why isn't this like you said, why aren't they teaching us in history class? This seems like a very big deal. Or do you think it was kind of swept under the rug because it was women's kind of, empowerment type thing?
I don't know. I don't know. This is so sad. It's so sad that I feel like this is a part of history that has been kept from me, on purpose. It's like hidden history. It's like somebody told you hear a rumor about something and you're like, no, that's not true. And then, the day comes where you're doing an Indiana Jones exploration of a fucking cave and you see pictures on the wall of people with swords having a duel. And you're like, wait a minute, something's not right here. And then there's a big book. It looks like it's like a giant book. And it looks like what you sell on the gummy bears, big fuck off book. with like a big golden seal on it, and you open it up and you just see all these pictures of women fighting topless, and you're like, it's true.
It's like all the stats too, like so it like shows like how the battle went round by round, and then how they became friends at the end of it.
Oh my God, you just totally got me on another idea. Okay, so the big bare-breasted fencing, right?
BBF.
So you have BBF, bare-breasted fencing. So you have these women, and like they're sword fighters, and they fight topless. Ready for this? Baseball cards.
Oh yes. Oh, you go and collect them, so you get like, oh shit, so we gotta sell this to Tops because they're having trouble. You know what I mean? Like, nobody buys baseball cards anymore.
Right? Who the fuck buys baseball cards?
You know what
anymore?
they do today, Richard? You buy a baseball card, but it's basically an electronic card. There's people who spend hundreds of dollars to say that they have, Bryce Harper's rookie card, but it's just an electronic thing. You don't even actually physically own it.
It's like a picture on a website.
Yeah, it's like a bit. They just flip a bit in their database, and you're like, oh, I want to sell my bit. And like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, this card doesn't even actually exist. We actually just did a Google image search and copy and pasted it in here.
See, now, I've always been kind of on the fence when it comes to something like digital comics. I've been kind of on the fence about like I like to sit there and hold an actual comic book in my hand and flip through the pages and look at the art. There is a there's a difference between seeing a comic book on your computer or on your tablet or whatever and look and having the tactileness of the art in front of you. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like a digital comic book, like you're still getting the story in combination with the art. Like you're still getting a written story. With a fucking electronic baseball card, like why? What are you doing?
I mean, because I've bought a few comics like Walking Dead, like, I couldn't get to the comic book shop that day when it came out.
Sure.
So like, well, I'll spend $3 buy it so I can read it, but I'm still getting the comic. But yeah.
Exactly. You're getting the comic, but I mean, I don't see a difference between paying for a digital copy of a comic book and paying for, the ability to stream a episode off of Amazon Instant Video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to pay $2 so I can watch this episode of The Walking Dead that I haven't seen yet. I'll pay $2 and you can go back to that episode whenever you want. That's saved to your account. If that's your favorite episode of The Walking Dead, you could always go back, pull up your account, go to your Amazon thing, and you can always watch that episode. You pay the $2.99. That episode is yours forever. Same thing with a comic book. Like I don't see a difference. But with a fucking why?
I don't know.
See, that makes because the point of collecting baseball cards is you're collecting a thing.
When I used to,
you're collecting an actual thing.
I think when they first did it, like it was like, oh, well, you actually own a card, but it's in like our warehouse or something like that. Like, it's in some type of thing that keeps it safe. But then it's like, well, then you can never get it. Like, how do you get that physical card? It's like, oh, well, you don't. It's just an electronic ownership of it. It's just, what's the point?
Yeah. So then you're like, how do I know that you actually have the card?
Because then it could be like, oh, okay, well, you actually need it because you have you went to the lawyer and they're like, yeah, you have to actually physically send this to it. So we're printing it off now and cutting it.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, we sent you. So this is proof that we have the card. Well, where is it? Well, we have it. Well, can I see it? Oh, no.
Yeah, go online. You can see it there.
Yeah. There'll be a picture of a guy holding your card with like a gun next to it. Don't move.
Oh,
the card gets
it. Keep fucking mouth this. We're gonna put it in some kid's bike.
So, but yeah, this is how you bring up a whole. This is how you solve the baseball card industry.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you what. In this case, I don't think anybody would care. Be like, what? All I have are electronic cards.
That's fine.
Whatever. Still a bunch of cards of topless women holding fencing swords.
Yeah, the stream, like, there's boxing and stuff that do like huge streaming. Like you do like a 3-card monthly fencing for the BBF. I guarantee you, I think at like $80 per like big bout, like you could do $100 easy for that.
Oh my
Viewing
God.
parties.
And see, throw that on top of fucking pay-per-views.
Yeah. Oh,
and
and you wouldn't want to do viewing parties for it because it's like you don't want to be with a bunch of your friends as this is going on. You're like, I want to be by myself.
Right? Oh, then your pay-per-view would skyrocket because everybody would buy it individually. Yep. Like your local bar is going to be like, hey, we're hosting the new, BBF tournament. And nobody shows up. You know why? Because everybody's watching it at home on their toilet.
Yep.
On their phone. Like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Got her. Oh, making friends in my bathroom's amazing.
I love DirecTV so much right now.
Well, yeah, the bars, the first time when this comes out, the bars are like, yeah, we're going to do the BBF, and everybody shows up, but the bathroom's backed up for the whole night.
Occupied.
It's okay. We can clear out the bathroom. Just shut off the Wi-Fi.
You come out waddling in your pants. Hey, Wi-Fi's down. What's the password?
Duels, after all, were frowned upon, especially among the educated classes, and provided never-ending fodder for reverends and preachers to issue tome after tome of anti-dueling literature. The following they have some mentions here about different pictures and about different pictures and stuff like that. Like I said, there is a lot of pictures. I feel like I almost want to put the link up to this page of all these paintings and different. Some of these look bad. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like all that Xena Warrior Princess, like the Xena Warrior Princess like fan fiction. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like that fan fiction you'd read about where Xena and the girl that was like her helper.
Mm-hmm.
Like the really cute one, the short one.
Like they're on a long ride to wherever they got to go fight. Like,
right,
I haven't trained in so long.
Riding in the back of a fucking hay cart.
Yeah. And what do they do next,
One
Richard?
thing leads to another.
And then they make friends.
And then they make friends after they pull out their swords and duel.
I drew first blood. Now you draw first kiss.
Oh my God. This fan fiction writes itself. Shawn, I don't even at this point I don't even know why I'm doing the show with you right now because I feel like I need to dig into this further.
You seem very distracted.
I only learned about this about 10 minutes before we started recording. So my mind is a little bit blown by this entire thing, and I am nothing but excited. Oh, so many pictures. Photographic postcards, and toward the end of the 19th century, stereoscopic views of sword-wielding female nudes was a logical continuation of artistic conventions. Until the late 19th century, women's roles were restricted to that of spoil sport, breaking up a fight before it had begun, or wailing woman, a pretty girl crying over the mortal coil of her lover was about to shuffle off. It was only in the late 1800s that women started taking a more proactive role in artistic dueling.
So what do they call? Why do they call it artistic dueling?
Well, in some of these, and some of these pictures, it looks like it was clearly staged. Like I'm looking at some of these pictures, and I'm like, there's no way. Like the photography of the time, you know what I mean?
This is like. They've reenacted it or something like that.
Something like that.
Holy shit, that's actually, like you have like the reenactments of, battles of, Gettysburg and like all these reenactments.
Yeah.
This is what you need to reenact.
How come I haven't seen this shit on the History Channel?
No, yeah. Well, no, they have like live reenactments, in Vienna, Georgia. They're like, hey, we're the sister city of Vienna. Back in 1892, there was the great emancipation duel. Everybody's like, oh, that sounds boring. It was Princess Palmonius and Duchess Stevens, and they sword fought without shirts on, and we're going to reenact it. Everybody's like, what? Wait, huh? What? I'm going over there. But yeah, you reenact it. I mean, that's like we said, like, put that on the History Channel. Make that a, Netflix documentary.
Yeah. This thing is, see, now we just figured out our Netflix show. This is our Netflix show, Shawn. The BBF.
Did they say when this stopped, or when they, because like, or is this going on right now? Like, is there an underground like emancipation duel between women that we don't know about? Do we need to talk to our
wouldn't
wives?
that be awesome if there was? Yeah.
Like,
what if they are? What if she's like, what if my wife is like, oh, I'm going to work, and she's actually secretly going to, topless sword fighting clubs.
Yeah.
Sometimes she does come home with scratches, and I wonder.
Yeah. Good point. So it's like, oh, hey.
And she's like, oh, no, I'm just with other men. And then I cry.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, am I not enough for you? No, you're not, actually. Your penis is small.
If you want, you can fight them for my honor. Like, no, I can't do that. My sword's not big enough.
I just thought I thought you were just being dirty in bed when you said I had a small PP.
No. I thought it was like a shaming thing.
That's a good point, though. Like, my wife's like, hey, I'm going out tonight. And then she comes back, hours later because, she had a good run.
With like a cut on her face. And you're like, oh my God, what happened? Oh, I was just,
beer bottle.
I was drunk and I fell down. You fell down on a knife? Yes. They were. It was laying on the sidewalk.
After I pulled it out of that bitch that ran into me in the bar.
She distracted me. She hit me with a left. She hit me with a right.
And then I cut her nipple off.
And then I cut her.
Wait, why was her nipple out?
Her nipple off? What was her nipple out?
I've said too much. Go to bed, Shawn. Okay.
Shh.
Does this smell like chloroform to you, Shawn?
Yes, it does.
Babe, I had the craziest dream last night.
God damn it.
Well, Richard, I mean, so we figured out we've got a BBF, big breast or bare-breasted fencing. We can make it a documentary, a TV show, a movie. Like, we've got endless possibilities.
Yeah, we really do. And the best part is this happened in like 1892, so it's totally public domain.
Oh, yeah, good point.
We don't have to pay for this. Like, there's nobody that holds a copyright to topless sword fighting. I mean, I don't understand why nobody.
Well, technically we do now, don't we? Because you said bare-breasted fencing, copyright Richard and Shawn. So technically, don't we own that?
That's a good point.
It's
It's ours.
It's our intellectual property.
We just claimed it.
So now when we get hate mail, it's like, you guys are pigs. It's like, hey, women came up with this years ago.
Yeah, this wasn't our idea. I mean, granted, we're very, very happy that they came up with it, but
hey, if you guys want to run it, we'll just be we'll be the counters. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Ding ding.
Ding ding.
Well, Richard, on this amazing new discovery,
let's get ready to fumble.
In this corner. Do you think they split up the weight classes by size, or
probably?
So the A Cup champion fencer
coming in at 110 pounds wet, but sporting double D's.
Susie Double Knocker Johnson. Oh, it's funny.
The Dolly Parton of Madison Square Garden.
Oh, man. We just need to. Well, Larry Flint's still alive. We need to talk to that guy. Maybe he can hook us up with some cash.
Her sword might be deadly, but those nipples look like they could cut glass.
I feel like you need the commentators from Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to be the commentator.
Well, we probably could do it too, I guess. You'd have to have a female in there too to help out. Because every time we...
Yeah, so that way... No, because if we have a female with us doing it, then she's going to spend the entire time just, like, smacking us on the back of the head.
Well, I mean, every time we say boobies, we're going to giggle.
Yeah, that's true. It makes me do it now.
Well, Richard, do you have any Richard's closing thoughts on this new adventure we're going to be going on?
I mean, you know what? I don't have any closing thoughts. You know why? Because I just discovered this, and so I'm just going to leave this open-ended. I want to revisit this. That's what I want to do. I want to come back to this. I want to 10 years from now, when we are the CEOs, the joint CEOs of the BBF, then I want to look back and be like, this was the moment. There's no closing thoughts on this because it's only up from here. That's what I want to say.
All right, well, let me do a little bit of ring keeping as we tidy up the
Yes.
BBF arena. Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter. We're at languageofbro. Email us your resume and your submissions to be part of the BBF at eatthebeaver@languageofbromance.com. Check out the LOB
Include
arm.
photos of your sword.
Your weapon of choice. Your weapons of choice.
Yeah.
We're going to get a lot of dick pics, Richard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we are.
And check out the LOB.
Damn it.
Check out the LOB Army Intelligence Report. Like us on Facebook. And go out and recruit somebody for the LOB Army by getting someone you know to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Stitcher.
Or go find somebody to recruit them for the BBF. And while you're and when you're checking out the podcast, if you're on iTunes, be sure to throw a rating and a review on there, because those ratings and reviews are so helpful in keeping us in iTunes rankings, and it does a world of good with just you taking a little time that we are ever so appreciative of.
We love them all. We've got quite a few out there, and they're great to see. You can also check us out on the Pod Bros Network, the first unofficial sponsor of the BBF.
Of the BBF.
And if you want to throw a little bit of money in our tip jar, go to our Patreon accounts, www.patreon.com/languageofbromance.
Fantastic.
All right, Richard.
Shawn, we're going to make so much money.
I just think
We're going to make so much money with this.
it's just finally a thing that you and I can both get behind and be excited. Like every day at work, just big smile on our faces. We walk through the BBF
exactly.
doors.
I could get behind this. I could get in front of this. I could stand next to it. I could do anything with this idea.
All right. Well, is there anything else before I close her out before we start gathering these ideas?
No, I need to go research some more by myself.
Okay. Yeah, I got to go make a friend here in a minute. So that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat the beaver. I was trying to do an announcement.
Oh my God, that would be eat the beaver. That would be what happens during sudden death.
It was kind of clean up to a point, and it's just like, there's the line. We just crossed it.
Yeah, that's how you end a show.
Yep.